Greetings, good listeners. Shanga here from Otherworldly Giants Storytelling School. I am a planetary priestess and multiverse historian. And this video is part two, speaking on the question of what are some basics in terms of what is safe and effective activist energy healing. So if you haven't watched part one of this video, I recommend you do that and then come back here for part two. Okay, so this question I wanted to speak on specifically because I've heard people say here and there for the last couple months, people are saying, like, energy healers, come on, cast your spells for ceasefire. So in part one, I talked about how I would and wouldn't cast a spell for ceasefire for the sake of safety. And in this video, I want to talk about like the limits of what we can do individually versus collectively. So if you're like, okay, I want to do magic or energy healing to help this situation because I know that that's important and I know the situation like needs that level of engagement. Um, and perhaps you're very strong, as a practitioner, as an energy healer, and you know what you're doing, and you perhaps have been doing things like on your own or even small groups of people, um, and that definitely does make an impact, you know. And I'll say for myself because like I have been doing that. I have been doing a lot on my own individually, because I understand this work really deeply and I have a strong facility with it. I'm also really weaved into strong revolutionary spiritual communities. I've invested the time, effort, and money over the years to like build those relationships and find those spaces. So even when I'm like alone in my apartment, like doing my magic, I'm not actually alone. I have collective support. I have very strong ancestors who are revolution and liberation oriented ancestors. And I've done that personal healing work with my ancestors to get us to that spot, where we can work together like this. And I know how to go to some really deep places in my own grief and my own rage and my own trauma. And I know how to hold that space for myself really well, with the support of my spiritual teams and still be safe and grounded in my daily life. So I know that where I'm at, I have, and what I've worked on and what I've done, like I have contributed a lot in the last couple months. This is December 2023. So, especially since October, just at home in my altar, in my energy healing practice, like I have contributed beautifully in terms of sending energetic pressure and assistance to the freedom movements, including the BDS campaign and its recent successes. I talked about that in a previous video about the Puma contract. And a lot of us have. A lot of us have been doing a lot with our healing work as energy healers, as writers and artists, etc. But even so, with the facility that I have, even with that, there are serious limits to what we can do individually versus collectively, even if you're the most powerful person. And it does kind of boil down to the difference between you as an individual calling your representatives in office every day and demanding a ceasefire. And the difference between that, you just on the phone calling, and look, this is like I literally just got this on my door today. So there's a group of people who in my neighborhood are organizing people around calling representatives. So there's a difference between you just doing that alone one day and an organized effort for everyone in a neighborhood to call their representative at the same day and same time. That's a much bigger impact, right? You as an individual cannot block a highway by yourself as an intentional strategy to shut down traffic, to call attention to a genocide, but a group of people can. So collective efforts are not only more effective to the cause, but it also strengthens the heart and spirit of each individual, because like you don't feel so isolated and helpless alone in your apartment against this huge Goliath. um, you feel a sense of community and collective purpose. And it's the same with energy healers, right? Whether you're a Reiki practitioner, or you cast spells with your stories. Hello, it's me. Wherever you are, the need for collective gathering around this is a growing need. And I want to be clear to say that abolitionist energy healers have always been gathering and doing collective ceremony and collective ritual work for the freedom of all beings on this planet. And I'm part of one of those communities. And, you know, we have always been behind major revolutionary moments, even if that work is completely invisible. And it has been for a long, long time, because that work has literally been criminalized. Like, literally criminalized. Like, uh, in the US, it was 1978. Up until 1978, it was illegal for indigenous people to come together in spiritual ceremony for their ancestors. And that witch hunting happens on so many levels. Uh, and it's an issue in our activist communities. So there's a reason why so many people are underground and doing that work underground and making sure they're invisible. But enter this moment in time. Our global challenges are getting more and more unprecedented. And our magical power and our spiritual gifts are also growing and getting more and more unprecedented. Has anyone seen an uptick lately in your magical abilities? Hello? Or health issues that have spiritual roots? We are being called forward to protect each other, and not only practice this kind of activism, but co-create more spaces of learning, teaching, building skills and awareness, supporting and growing with one another, learning to recognize and respect this field of activism, learning its nuances, and being able to find ways to come together even when we are in, diverse places in our spiritual journeys or in our purpose work, or the lineages that we practice with. Um, yeah, this kind of gathering, it can be amongst people who practice the same tradition, but it doesn't have to be. And I'm interested in creating a space where we can learn and grow together, and even conjure certain things together while still being in our sovereignty and in our separate life paths, and our differing traditions that we work with. And so that's the space that I'm creating around my work. Um, and yeah, for those of us who do this, who are called into this, like, we are learning how to like raise our standards, in terms of like how we will be treated in our relationships, and how this work we do will be honored and respected and recognized. And that is part of how we are teaching the larger world, about how much we matter and how much this work we do matters, because it is really a strong threat to genocide on all levels when we do that for ourselves. But so, okay, back to this original question that we talked about in part one. Instead of casting a spell on a colonial entity, trying to go like this with our magic, the safer way is learning how to send an energy healing through your full body, through your lineage, through your breath, through your stories, your personal life experiences. And that way you connect with yourself on the deepest level that you are meant to at this time and place and juncture of your life. And you connect right now to what freedom truly means to you and your lineage and your life experiences, to your heart, to your soul, to a part of you that is deeper and older than the conditions of supremacy and colonialism that we have all been indoctrinated in. That part of you is so deep and alive that it is intricately connected to the freedom of the whole planet and everyone in it. That's what true love is. That's where you find the truth of solidarity that you carry with your global kin in its most genuine form. It is indeed about love and friendship and an intertwined connection between all of us that can never be broken. That place within yourself and your life experiences is where you find your true, sincere commitment to freedom for all. And that's what this moment is asking of us. The truth has come out about all these genocides, but we can access an inner truth that is a level of intensity, sincerity, and ferocity of commitment, dedication to this planet, a devotion to why you are alive here and now, an utter knowing of how in love you are with this universe. That truth of freedom is so strong that it not only rivals the energy of genocide, it makes genocide go just like that. It de-escalates it in the immediate moment. And eventually, in the long game, it transmutes it and transforms it until it's gone. Imagine how powerful you could be to connect to that truth right now, as it is clear and available to you. And imagine if we did that together. So that's what we're going to do. In a small but significant way, here on the Otherworldly Giants Storytelling School Divination channel. So on December 31st, at exactly 3:33 p.m. Eastern Time, I am hosting a gathering called Storytime with the Transcestors, a masterclass on lineage, storytelling, and energetic activism. So we'll share a collective energy healing to welcome in the new year and root down into our freedom requirements for our lives and for life on our beloved planet, including the places in ourselves and in the collective body that are experiencing the most harm and attack right now. If you've been following along, you know that I was planning on doing this as a Zoom event, and thank you to everybody who registered for that and wrote down your email for that. But what I'm feeling right now is that this transmission needs to be just broadcasted in a more public way and not in a contained Zoom room. So I'm going to be doing that masterclass right here on YouTube Live. And I'm also going to be broadcasting it on Instagram as well, Instagram Live. So you can still join and participate. It'll just be here on YouTube and Instagram instead of Zoom. If you go to YouTube on my channel and you click live, you'll see the upcoming event and you can click get notified. And so it'll send you a reminder of when it's happening. So you can tune in, whatever you're doing on New Year's Eve afternoon. Just tune in, have it on. There will be a chat open, so you can write down comments if you want. And I will send out the replay through my email list as well. And if you want to participate in the energy healing, What I suggest and what I offer is that you bring a representative of water and fire and have it close to you while you're listening to this transmission and like receiving energetically what I share. So that can be keeping a bowl of water, like in a beautiful bowl or cup. I just say ideally not plastic. And then keep some fire next to you too. So whether that's a candle or burning some herbs or incense, whatever makes sense to you. Okay, so I hope that I'll see you there. I hope you tune in. Whatever your plans are to ring in the new year, this is going to be a beautiful way to spend the afternoon. Yeah, and either way, sending you love and blessings. Thank you for watching this channel. I hope that everybody has an incredible, beautiful start to the new year, and that is exactly what you need it to be this year. That you find what you need no matter what it is. Yeah, we're moving into an incredible year of 8, 2024. That's an 8 number. That's the year of strength. That's infinity. Come through. All right. See you soon.